Before the world existed, there was only a void. The Norse called it Ginnungagap, a great yawning emptiness stretching in every direction, silent and waiting. But at its edges, two realms were already taking shape. To the south burned Muspelheim, a land of fire and light, guarded by the giant Surtur and his flaming sword. To the north sat Niflheim, a freezing world of fog and ice, for which the primordial rivers began to flow southward into the void. As those rivers crept further from their source, they began to freeze. Layer upon layer of ice built up across the northern reaches of Ginnungagap, and from the moisture rising off that ice, rime formed across the glacial landscape. Then something remarkable happened. The warm air drifting up from Muspelheim in the south touched the frozen north, and the ice began to melt. Droplets gathered and ran together, and from them came life. The first life, a giant, enormous beyond comprehension, named Ymir. Ymir slept, and as he slept he sweated, and from the sweat of his left armpit 2 children were born. His legs twisted together and produced a son with 6 heads. From these first giants descended the frost giants, the great primordial beings who would shadow the Norse myths from beginning to end. The same melting ice that made Ymir also produced a cow, Audhumla, whose milk sustained the giant in those early formless days. Audhumla fed herself by licking the salt from the ice-covered stones. Hair appeared from beneath the ice. On the second day, a head. On the third day, a full man emerged from the frozen earth. His name was Buri, the first of a different kind of being entirely. Buri fathered a son, and that son married a giantess and had 3 children. The eldest was Odin, the second was Vili, the third was Vi. These 3 brothers looked at Ymir, the vast sleeping giant from whose body the frost giant race had sprung, and they made a decision. They killed him. The wounds that opened in Ymir's body unleashed such a torrent of blood that it drowned every frost giant in existence, all except 2, who built an ark and survived to become the ancestors of all the giants that followed. Then the brothers took the body and went to work. From Ymir's blood they made the seas and the lakes. From his flesh they shaped the land. His bones became mountains and his teeth became rocks. His skull was lifted overhead and became the sky, held at its 4 corners by 4 dwarves named North, South, East, and West. The brothers gathered the sparks and embers flying out of Muspelheim and scattered them across the heavens, creating the stars, positioning them so that time itself could be measured by their movement. From Ymir's brain they made the clouds, and from driftwood found on the shore, Odin and his brothers breathed new life into 2 figures, a man and a woman, Ash and Elm, the first humans. Odin gave them breath and life. Vili gave them intelligence and feeling. Vi gave them speech, hearing, and sight. They were placed in Midgard, the middle world, surrounded by a great ocean and protected from the giants by fortifications built from Ymir's very eyebrows. At the center of everything the brothers built Asgard, a magnificent city of gleaming halls where the gods would dwell. Odin became its ruler and took the beautiful Frigg as his wife. He was called All-Father, father of the gods and of mankind. And from Asgard he watched over all 9 worlds connected by the great ash tree Yggdrasil, the axis around which all existence turned. Yggdrasil had 3 great roots reaching into 3 different realms. One stretched to Erdebrunn, the Well of Fate, where the gods held council each day. Beside that well lived the Norns, 3 prophetic maidens who determined the course of every life, carving destiny itself into bark of the great tree. The second root reached to the Well of Mimir, whose waters held the secret of wisdom. The third descended to Niflheim, the primordial realm of ice, where the dragon Nidhogg endlessly gnawed at the root, slowly, patiently, working toward an end that had already been foreseen. Connecting Asgard to the other worlds was Bifrost, the Rainbow Bridge, and beside it stood Heimdall, the watchman of the gods. He needed almost no sleep. His vision was perfect in both darkness and daylight. He carried the horn Gyllerhorn, whose blast could be heard across all 9 worlds, kept in reserve for the day it would truly be needed. Odin himself was never satisfied with what he had. Power was not enough. He wanted to understand everything, and that hunger for knowledge defined him more than any weapon or throne. He traveled to the Well of Mimir and asked to drink from its waters, which held the secret of great wisdom. Mimir told him there was a price. Odin reached up, gouged out one of his own eyes, and dropped it into the well without hesitation. Mimir gave him his drink. Odin walked away half-blind and wiser than any being alive. But he was not finished. He had heard of the runes, the ancient symbols carved by the Norns into the trunk of Yggdrasil, each one holding a kind of power that went beyond ordinary knowledge. To obtain them, Odin hung himself from a branch of the great tree, pierced his own side with a spear, and forbade the other gods from helping him. He hung there for 9 days and 9 nights, starving and in agony, staring down into the depths beneath the roots. And on the 9th night, the runes revealed themselves. He seized them, and with them came the power to heal, to protect, to destroy, to see what others could not. Every sacrifice Odin made was preparation for something he could already see coming, a war at the end of everything, Ragnarok. To prepare his forces for that final day, Odin sent his Valkyries, divine warrior maidens, to every battle fought across the mortal world. Their task was to choose who would live and who would die, and from among the dead to select the most heroic warriors for a greater purpose. These chosen fallen were carried to Valhalla, Odin's vast hall in Asgard, where they became the Einherjar. Every day they fought each other in glorious combat. Every evening their wounds healed, and they feasted together. They were an army being built for the end of the world, and Odin sat at their head, fed only by wine. His 2 ravens hug in and Munin departing at sunrise each day to fly across the world, and returning each evening to whisper everything they had seen into his ears. Thor was Odin's son, the strongest of the gods, with mane of red hair and a beard to match. He rode the skies in a chariot pulled by 2 goats, and wary when the thunder followed. He was a protector of mankind, quick to anger but fundamentally good-natured, which made him the perfect target for Loki, the god of mischief. Loki was the great complication of Norse mythology, the son of a giant. He moved between the worlds of gods and giants as he pleased, aligning himself with the Aesir when it suited him and against them when it did not. He was brilliant and infuriating, genuinely funny until he was not, a prankster who one day crossed a line he could never cross back over. His pranks could be contained. When he shaved the hair from Thor's wife Sif while she slept, Thor caught him and was about to break every bone in his body when Loki promised to fix what he had done. He went to the dwarves and had them forge magical hair of pure gold that would grow like real hair, and while he was there he also obtained a series of extraordinary gifts for the gods, including the hammer Mjolnir. The hammer had a flaw, a handle shorter than intended because a fly had bitten the smith mid-forge. But despite this, it could never miss its target and always returned to Thor's hand. Thor was satisfied. For a while, he orchestrated the death of Balder, Odin's most beloved son, the most beautiful of all the gods. Frigg, sensing her son's danger, had traveled the world extracting a promise from every material and every creature that they would not harm him. Every weapon bounced off Balder harmlessly. The gods made a game of it, throwing things at him and laughing as they rebounded. Loki disguised himself as a woman and approached Frigg, asking if she had truly covered everything. She admitted there was one thing she had overlooked: mistletoe. She had thought it too small and too harmless to bother with. Loki gathered mistletoe. He approached Hodr, Odin's blind son, who could not participate in the game. He offered to help him join in, guiding his hand, placing a dark mistletoe in his grip. Hodr threw it. Balder fell. The hall went silent. The most beloved of the gods was dead, killed by his blind brother's hand, guided by Loki's. The gods appealed to Hel, ruler of the realm of the dishonored dead, to release Balder. She agreed on one condition: every being in all of existence had to weep for him. The Aesir moved through the 9 worlds asking everything to mourn, and everything did, every creature and stone and root and river, everything except one giantess who refused to shed a single tear. Loki in disguise. Balder remained in Hel's realm. He was not coming back. They hunted Loki down, dragged 2 of his sons before him, turned one into a wolf, and forced him to tear his brother apart. Then they bound Loki to the rocks of a cave with his own son's entrails, and positioned the serpent above him, so that its venom dripped onto his face without end. His wife Sigyn held a bowl above him to catch the drops, but whenever she had to turn away to empty it, the venom fell, and Loki's agony shook the earth, which is what the Norse believe caused earthquakes. He will remain there, the myths tell us, until the end of days, and the end of days is coming. Ragnarok begins with 3 winters arriving without a summer between them, snowstorms sweeping the world, the bonds of family breaking apart as brother turns on brother. The sun and the moon are finally caught and swallowed by the wolves that have been chasing them since the beginning. Stars vanish. The world shakes. The wolf Fenrir, Loki's monster son, breaks free of his chains. The Midgard serpent rises from the ocean, so vast it encircles the entire world, flooding the land as it emerges. The ship Naglfar, built entirely from the nails of the dead, sails with Loki at its helm and an army of giants aboard. Surtur leaves Muspelheim with his flaming sword, destroying the Bifrost beneath his feet as he crosses it. Heimdall sees it all. He raises Gyllenhaal and blows, and the sound tears across every world at once. Odin leads the Einarjar out of Valhalla for the last time. The gods and the forces of chaos collide in the final battle, and the gods fall one by one. Frey is cut down by Surtur's blade. Tyr and the Hound Garm destroy each other. Thor and the Midgard serpent meet in combat, Thor striking with Mjolnir and the serpent answering with its fangs. Thor wins, then walks 9 steps and falls dead from the poison. Odin himself faces Fenrir and is swallowed whole, before his son Vidar tears the wolf apart in revenge. Heimdall and Loki find each other at last, and each kills the other. Then Surtur covers the world in fire, and then the silence comes, but it does not last. From beneath the waves a new earth rises, green and growing, more beautiful than what came before. Odin's sons survive. Baldur returns from the realm of the dead. 2 humans emerge from a forest where they hid, and from them the world is repopulated. The son that was swallowed had a daughter before she died, and that daughter now crosses the sky in her mother's place. The world begins again. The Norse understood something that other mythologies sometimes forget, that endings are not endings, that destruction and creation are the same process, separated only by time. Ragnarok is not a failure of the gods. It is the price of everything that came before it, and the seed of everything that comes after. These stories were told to the long, dark Scandinavian winters, passed from one generation to the next, kept alive by the human need to make sense of a world that does not always make sense on its own. And they are still being told. Because some truths do not go out of date. The world ends, and then it begins again.